Did you know you're already ahead of 90% of people your age if you can communicate confidently? It's a fact. Research shows that people who communicate well get better job opportunities, make more money, and even attract higher caliber romantic partners. Currently, there's a huge demand for strong communicators, but the supply is small. So you don't need to be the best, you just need to be pretty good. Clicking away from this video might be a big regret because it could be the turning point for your future. Effective communication today is the equivalent of being a 6 feet 3 inches, exceptionally attractive person in our generation. That's a game changer. Let me walk you through my own transformation and show you how you can do it too. When I was 12, I was in year 6 and the school captain. I think there were 30 or 40 kids in total, and I was probably the best speaker there. I encouraged everyone to try their best and keep growing. Later, I started dating the other school captain, someone who was a great speaker as well. About 5 months into our relationship, we went trick-or-treating with a friend, and I noticed something that made me feel awful. My girlfriend seemed much more interested in my friend, someone new, someone different, and I started feeling nervous, unsure of myself. This is when my insecurity began. I started looking in the mirror every day, thinking I was ugly, even though I wasn't. This gnawed away at my confidence and my ability to communicate. Picture a water pipe with a blockage. The water flow is weak. That's your communication when it's filled with gunk. The gunk, your anxiety, embarrassment, and fear of judgment. It's not that you're a bad communicator. You're just blocked. The way to clear it is by asking yourself, where is this blockage stemming from? Is it low self-confidence, a bad experience, or something else? Once you identify the root cause, you can start clearing it. White heavy checkmark. Here's your number 1 exercise to improve your communication. Identify the gunk. Ask yourself, what's holding me back from speaking boldly? I'll link a video at the end where I show you how I overcame my own nervousness. Once you clear that blockage, you're never going to be perfect. I get nervous all the time, I get embarrassed, I fear judgment, but I have less gunk than most people, which makes me a better communicator. This is why I get more opportunities and connect more easily with others. So, how can you improve your communication today? Here are 4 crucial, easy things you can do. Small blue diamond keycap. 1. Set your intention. Your intention controls your delivery. When you talk to someone, aim not to impress or win them over, but to connect and appreciate their company. For example, instead of thinking, I want her to like me, think, I want to make her feel valued and understood. This simple shift drops your nervousness, making your communication more natural. White heavy checkmark. Expert opinion. Dr. Andrew Huberman, neuroscientist. Intent controls your nervous system's response. When your intent is pure, to connect, stress drops, freeing up your ability to communicate honestly. Small blue diamond keycap. 2. Read more books. Reading expands your vocabulary and helps you practice framing your thoughts. I typically read for 30 to 60 minutes per day, noting down 1 to 2 words I want to reuse in conversations. Having a rich vocabulary lets you be more clear, more fluent, and more charming in your delivery, like adding color to a black and white picture. This is a cheat code for developing your communication skills. Small blue diamond keycap. 3. Improve your appearance and take care of yourself. This might seem superficial, but confidence comes from feeling good about yourself. Get a fresh haircut, buy a few well-fitted outfits, start a skincare routine, or just get a good night's rest, and drink plenty of water. When you feel your best, you naturally become more at ease and fluent in expression. For example, I usually just wear simple, well-fitted Kmart clothes, but when I do, I feel much more comfortable and poised. Small blue diamond keycap. 4. Speak on camera or record yourself. This might be the most powerful way to grow. 3 years ago, I made my first YouTube video. I was nervous, I stumbled over my words, but with practice, I improved. I'm much more fluent today. If you're nervous, you can do this in private. Just record yourself for 5-minute sessions each day. Consider it your own video journal. Watch yourself grow. This lets you observe your progress and become more comfortable with your own voice. Sparkle's final tip. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start today, practice a little bit each day, and watch your confidence grow. This will pay enormous dividends in your relationships, your career, and your happiness. White heavy checkmark: communication is not something you're born with. It's a skill you can learn. Go out there and become the person you want to be. You're already ahead. Now, let's take your communication to the next level. Did you know you're already ahead of 90% of people your age if you can communicate with confidence? Studies show that strong communicators enjoy greater career opportunities, earn higher salaries, and attract higher caliber relationships. Look at the most successful people under 25 today. Nearly all of them know how to connect, inspire, and persuade. Picture this: you have a great idea, something you're passionate about, and you want to share it with the world. Your friends, your colleagues, maybe even a room full of people. The way you communicate can make or break your pitch. Option 1. You rush through it, you fumble, you speak faster than you think, just hoping to get your point across. Sometimes it sticks, but more often it falls flat. Option 2. You prepare. You structure your message, choose your words carefully, and use your body language strategically, leaning forward to show engagement, adding purposeful gestures for emphasis, slowing down your delivery, making eye contact, and pausing to let your points sink in. This way, your message resonates. Your confidence draws people toward you instead of turning them away. The big question is, can you become that kind of person, a master communicator? White heavy checkmark: the answer is yes, because communication is a learnable skill. Nobody is born with it. We all acquire these abilities through practice, persistence, and careful observation. Listen to connect. Effective communication starts with listening. If you interrupt or constantly think about your own response while someone is talking, you're not really listening. You're waiting for your chance to speak. This signals a major lack of understanding. Instead, pay close attention. Watch their expression, their gestures, their tone. Let them finish their thought. This shows you care, which naturally brings down defenses and makes subsequent exchanges much more comfortable for both of you. Choose your words carefully. Having a strong vocabulary lets you communicate your ideas precisely. A slight change in wording can make a dramatic difference in how your message is received. For instance, general version: today we're going to talk about things that make your communication better. Effective version: today we're going to explore strategies that elevate your communication skills, helping you become more clear, more fluent, and more persuasive. This shows you're a person who's intentional and trustworthy. Your words carry weight. How to grow your vocabulary naturally. Don't memorize a list of words. Instead, white heavy checkmark: read daily, 10 to 15 minutes. Articles, blogs, books, on your phone, Kindle, or laptop. Whenever you come across a word you're unsure about, look up its meaning. White heavy checkmark: watch your favorite shows or films in English. Pay attention to context and learn how words are used naturally in different situations. This lets you grow your vocabulary without overwhelm, adding words to your vocabulary in a way that sticks. Structure your thoughts. One major hurdle for many people is organizing their thoughts. Without structure, messages become confusing or disjointed. This happens because we haven't trained ourselves to structure our thinking first. Instead of following confusing routines, I suggest following SBAK. White heavy checkmark situation: what's happening? White heavy checkmark problem: why is this a problem? White heavy checkmark evidence: what facts or data demonstrate this? White heavy checkmark action: what can we do to solve it? White heavy checkmark key takeaway: what's the main point you want our listeners to remember? This framework guides you toward clear, purposeful, and logical expression, a tactic used by many expert debaters and powerful orators. Turn practice into a habit. Start today by recording your thoughts with your phone or a voice note app like otter.ai or VoicePal for just 2 minutes a day. Talk about your routines, your stories, your passions, whatever you wish. This lets you practice framing your thoughts and speaking them aloud, without pressure. Over time, this forms a habit, making you naturally more fluent, clear, and comfortable under pressure. Master your delivery with pace and pauses. Your delivery is just as important as your content. The 2 key components: white heavy checkmark pacing, slowing down signals confidence. White heavy checkmark pauses. Adding brief pauses lets your message sink in and resonates with your audience. Consider these 2 delivery samples. Crossmark rush delivery. You're starting a new project and you're excited but also overwhelmed. There's a lot to do. It feels rushed, nervous, unsettled. White heavy checkmark, controlled delivery with pauses. Picture this. You're starting a new project. You feel excited, but also a little overwhelmed. There's a lot to do, and you're unsure where to begin. But instead of rushing, you take a deep breath and you focus, one step at a time. This deliberate delivery signals confidence, control, and credibility, making your message much more impactful. Avoid ums and hs. Fillers undermine your credibility and break the flow of your delivery. Instead, embrace silence. Let your pauses carry weight. This signals confidence, not weakness. Final tip. Effective communication is a powerful tool, and with practice, you can make it your greatest asset. You're standing in front of a crowd. Your heart is racing, your palms are sweaty, and the words you prepared feel like they're slipping away. But then you take a moment. You pause, you take a deep breath, and you start to speak, one word at a time. And just like that, you're in control of the room, whether it's filled with hundreds of people or just that one person sitting across from you. Mastering delivery, your pausing, your tone, your gestures is a lot simpler than most people think. All you need are 2 powerful exercises. Exercise number 1. Record your voice. Record yourself while you speak. This lets you track your pauses, your pacing, and your delivery. You're able to identify what's strong and what needs improvement. Exercise number 2. Read aloud. Read books that you love, with great vocabulary and well-structured sentences, and follow the punctuation carefully. This will help you learn to vary your tone, control your breathing, and make your delivery more dramatic. Here's a wonderful example from a book by William Dalrymple, a master storyteller with impeccable English. The idea for this book was born 16 years ago, on a high, clear Himalayan morning in the summer of 1993. I was corkscrewing my way up from the banks of the river Panrati, along the steep sides of a thickly wooded valley. The track was soft and mossy, and it led through ferns and brackens, thickets of bramble, and groves of tall Himalayan cedar trees. Small waterfalls tumbled through the deodars. It was May, and after a 10-day trek, I was one day's walk away from my destination, the great Himalayan temple of Kedarnath, believed by Hindus to be a principal home of Lord Shiva, alongside Mount Kailash in Tibet, the 2 candidates for the Hindu Mount Olympus. When you read, try to speak with the feeling you get from the words. Let your voice bring the story to life. Body language speaks volumes. Your words account for only 7% of your message. Your tone, your pauses, your delivery makes up 38%. And your body language is a staggering 55%. Yet most people pay little or no attention to their gestures. Consider this example. If I say, "Hello you guys. It's amazing to have you here today. I'm so glad you're watching this video." With hunched shoulders, closed arms, or hands in my pockets, I'm sending a nervous, closed-off message. Compare that to, "Hi you guys. It's amazing to have you here today. I'm so glad you're watching this video, because it's a real pleasure to connect with you." With an open posture, a warm expression, and purposeful gestures, the message resonates much more powerfully. When you're communicating one-on-one, avoid folding your arms or putting your hands in your pockets. Instead, use your gestures to aid your delivery, for instance. I felt a rush of emotions, then I hit rock bottom. It made me feel so scared. Using your hands to reflect these words makes your story come alive instead of falling flat. Mirror and connect. One powerful trick you can use to connect with your audience is mirroring, subtly matching their gestures, tone, or style of expression. Our brains have mirror neurons that aid us in understanding and syncing with the people we talk to. This is a game changer for your communication. If someone crosses their arms, for instance, you may slowly mirror their posture, then ease back into a more open one, helping them follow you toward greater relaxation. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. So watch great speakers, listen to their delivery, and try to mirror their style. The power of story. Picture this. Failure is a part of success. Learn from your mistakes. Versus. When I was in college, I failed my first major exam. I remember sitting outside the classroom with my head in my hands, bawling my eyes out. I kept wondering whether I was even cut out for this. I went home crying, feeling defeated, but then I stumbled upon a TED Talk on YouTube, and in just 15 minutes, it completely turned my life around. The second version resonates much more, right? That's the power of stories. Stories connect with emotions, and people remember how you made them feel much more than the facts you presented. Challenge: become a better communicator daily. If you're thinking, how can I become a great storyteller and speaker? I have a fun challenge for you. Every day, practice with a storytelling prompt. Pair it with a challenge, like adding imagery or adding dialogue, and then record yourself. For instance, prompt: the most embarrassing moment in your life. Challenge: use vivid imagery. Here's a brief example from my own experience. The most embarrassing moment I ever had was in 11th grade. I was this awkward, gawky teenager, short hair, oily forehead, acne all over my cheeks, socks up to my calves. You get the picture. All the classes were decorating the gymnasium for the annual winter carnival. Naturally, I was on the team. I loved arts and crafts. I spent all my time painting instead of socializing. The story's a bit humiliating, and honestly, I'm a little nervous to share it, but that's the point. This kind of vulnerable, human story resonates with people. Your communication roadmap. I promised you a clear path forward, and here it is. White heavy checkmark step 1. Download a voice transcription app. Record yourself daily, 1 to 2 minutes. Then listen back and identify your weaknesses. White heavy checkmark step 2. Spend 5 minutes each day reading a book aloud, following its punctuation, expression, and sentence structure. Look up words you're unsure about. White heavy checkmark step 3. Do a daily or every other day storytelling challenge. The more you practice, the faster you'll grow. Continuous, small efforts add up. Bam! You become a powerful, charming, and effective communicator. If I can do it, you can do it too.